Hello there, this is Mr. Clark. Today we're going to go over the week 30 notes on trigonometry. So, first thing is we're going to go over how to set up these right triangles. So, we're going to deal with right triangles with trigonometry. Okay, so here you see a right triangle. This instruction sheet is on your in your assignment. First thing on there shows you how to find what a hypotenuse is. You may have heard this before. Hypotenuse is always directly across from the right angle. Here's the right angle, little box there, that's 90 degrees. And the hypotenuse is on the opposite side of the triangle. There it is, hypotenuse. So if we look at this one down here on the day one notes, which one's the hypotenuse? Well, here's the right angle. And if you go across from that, there it is, 5. So the hypotenuse is 5. The hypotenuse is also always the longest side on a right triangle. So there it is. Now, to do trigonometry, you're also going to have to find the opposite and adjacent sides. Okay, so opposite side, right here, as you see on your instruction sheet, is opposite of whatever angle you're dealing with. Okay, so let's see on here, what are we dealing with? We're dealing with this angle here. This is called theta. That's just like an unknown angle, like x, it's Greek letter. So we're dealing with that angle. Now, across from that, on the opposite side there of that, is 4, just like how we found the hypotenuse, but we're going from this angle, because it says sine of theta. That's what we're going to deal with. All right, so on the opposite side of that, as you can see here, same as this one, opposite of A on this one we're looking for is 4. So the opposite side is 4. Adjacent side, it's the other side. There's only 3 sides, right? And adjacent means next to. And here's the angle here that we're dealing with. And 3 is next to that. That side's attached to that angle, right? The hypotenuse is also attached. But that's the hypotenuse. So we already did the hypotenuse. We already did the opposite side. Now we have the adjacent side. And again, it says this on your notes here. Adjacent side of angle A, right? That's the one next to it. It's not the hypotenuse. There it is. So that's how you set these up. Now that we have all those marked, we're going to find what the sine of theta is. Theta is that angle. Now, if you look on up here, sine is the opposite side over the hypotenuse, right? And it's also on your instruction sheet. There it is. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So I'm going to find the opposite side, which is 4. Put it on top of the fraction. Hypotenuse 5. Bottom of the fraction. Let me check, make sure I got it right. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So we have opposite is 4 over 5. There it is, 4 over 5. That's it for that. Now we're going to do cosine of theta. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. All right, so now I'm going to find the adjacent side. I already did that. It's 3. And the hypotenuse is 5, so I'm going to put that down here. Right, adjacent over hypotenuse. Okay. Tangent is opposite over hypotenuse. There it is right there. Right? So this is also on your sheet here. And there's an example. Right? Opposite over hypotenuse. So, oh, sorry. Wait a minute. What? This isn't right. I'm going to fix this one up. Opposite over adjacent. Yeah, tangent is opposite over adjacent. Because we already had opposite over hypotenuse. It's sine. All right, so tangent is opposite over adjacent. And again, you see it here. Tangent opposite over adjacent. There it is right there on your instruction sheet, right? Okay. So I'm going to put that down here. Opposite is 4. 4 over adjacent, which is 3. 4 over 3. There we go. So I set up the 3 trig ratios. All right, so let's go to the next one. Here's this triangle. Again, it's a right triangle. First thing is find the hypotenuse. There's the right angle. And across from that, you see right there on the other side of the triangle is 10. So that's hypotenuse. Also, 10 is the longest side. That's hypotenuse. Now we're dealing with this angle here, theta, right? And theta is down here. On this other one, it was up here, but here it's down here. So the opposite side of that angle is 6, right? Over there. So the opposite is 6. Adjacent is the other side, so it's 8. And you can see adjacent is it's next to. Adjacent means next to. It's next to that angle, right? So adjacent's 8. Now let me mention one thing now. We did the opposite of this is 6, right? Now if we were doing this angle, oops, that didn't work out too well. If we were doing this angle over here, the opposite of that angle would be 8. So it does change, you know, depending on which angle you're looking at. Now the hypotenuse is always the same. All right, anyway, so we found this. So now we can do the sine, and sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Right? Opposite is 6. Hypotenuse is 10. 6 over 10. I mean, we can reduce these fractions. I'm not going to reduce them now. I just want to make sure you know how to find the ratios. Cosine, just look up here. All you got to do is look. Adjacent over hypotenuse. Again, it's on the instruction sheet too. ADJ over HYP. And we're going to do cosine. Adjacent is 8. Hypotenuse is 10. Here we go. And the tangent is adjacent, or sorry, opposite over adjacent, as we see up here. And also we see it on the instruction sheet, opposite over adjacent, right there. So I'm going to put that opposite is 6. And oops, and adjacent is 8. Okay. And these are going to be different ratios. So if you have two that are the same, you know something went wrong. Like I had, like it was written up here. This was written the same as this. You know what happens when you cut and paste, you know? So that's that one. So the next one. So we're going to find the hypotenuse first. I always find that first. Hypotenuse is 13 because it's across from the right angle. See, there's the right angle. These two sides are connected to the right angle, right? This one's across 13, and it's the longest side. Hypotenuse is always the longest side. We're doing sine of theta, so here's theta. So the opposite of theta, the opposite side is 12. See, it's on the other side of the triangle. A little harder to see because this is a narrow triangle. Now, if we were looking for this angle, we were using this angle, 5 would be the opposite. But we're using this angle. Draw an arrow over there, which I can't do in Google Docs for some reason. It's 12. So the opposite side is 12. And then the adjacent side is the other side. 12. All right, so sine, we know is opposite over adjacent. 13. 12 over. I said opposite over adjacent. See, that's why I got to check too. It's opposite over hypotenuse. Yep, there it is. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. You got to forgive me too. This is the day before spring break. I'm going on vacation here. Not going anywhere. Just staying home fishing. Definitely going fishing. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. 5 over 13. Come on. 13. And the tangent is opposite over adjacent, right? And you can always check here again. You forget. There it is, opposite over adjacent. There it is on the instruction sheet. Opposite is 12. Adjacent is 5. All right, so there you go. That's how you set these up.